go on every radio station, every TV station, all our social media. So it must be in your face. Yeah? After a while, it'll be like, oh, I'm fed up. See this. All right, let me go and see what it is about. And the moment I get to come and see what it's about, that is it. I catch it. That's all I need. That's to say, you come once and you buy into it from the video, something. That is it. People hate me for that. Be like, I'm fed up seeing this. I'm fed up. Every time I take it, I broke out. I'm fed up seeing this. And that's not a problem. Hate me, be vexed with me, but you're going to watch it. You're going to watch it. Even 15 seconds is all you need. You're going to watch it. That is it. 3 o'clock in the morning is when my ideas just hit me. I was like, I was like, yo, you know, this could be even bigger because everyone does something and they just do it for doing its sake.
Were you afraid when you had to stand up to your dad and say, no, I'm not going into the army. This is what I'm going to do. I'm taking control of my life. Welcome to another episode of The Blueprint with Dr. Jelani I. Reid. I am your host, Dr. Jelani Reid, a medical doctor by profession, an activist by passion, and a lifelong student of life, transformation, and change. Here on The Blueprint, we are all about having conversations, about having discussions, about what is happening in our different spaces, what our heroes in our republic are doing, and how we can take their stories, learn from their life lessons, and formulate our blueprint for our lives, our community, and of course the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago and beyond. Today, I am thrilled to have someone who I know personally, but I know that many of you will know him as the mastermind behind King of the Cage football tournament. This young man has taken an idea, a vision that he once had, and is causing a rapid change of positive influence in the communities starting in Maloney Gardens and around the country of Trinidad and Tobago and beyond. We are thrilled and happy to have none other than Mr. Ronaldo Alexander to be a guest. Welcome, Ronaldo.
Thanks very much. Morning, everyone.
Morning. Thank you so much for having us. So,
No problem.
Ronaldo, we know you as the mastermind behind King of the Cage. You want to tell us how did that start?
Okay, Kings of the Cage started way back when I was a young guy. I never tell anyone in depth how it really started. So it's at a football tournament like countless years ago in the Maloney Outdoor Court.
Right.
As a child watching it, and I saw the amount of people. Since after that, it had a lull, nothing going on. So I was like, what if I brought it back, but I didn't have a name for it?
Right.
So one day while walking towards the outdoor facility Maloney, we know the court is surrounded by the fencing.
Correct, yes.
So by me watching the fencing, I was like, okay, the name will be Kings of the Cage because it's men, we are kings. So that where the name mesh from, by just me standing outside before going onto the court, that's where the name came about.
Okay. So you said that while you were young, you know, you had this idea when you were young. So before we get into the Kings of the Cage part of it, let's find out about you, about the individual. So tell us about your upbringing. What was it like?
My upbringing, it was basically natural upbringing from the building. All the elders used to always look out for me. From my mom, when my dad was down here because he works on the cruise ship, so he would be back and forth. So it was my mom, grandmom. I would say just a natural upbringing for the elders looking out for me, growing me up on the right path, showing me, yo, don't do this, do that, stay out of this, stay out of that. And I would even say that the people as we so-called gang members, I would say, the wrong part of life, they also will make sure I was on the right path. I'll always give them that. I don't know how they had that respect for me from young, so I thank them for that. So I never strayed and grew up to on the right path.
Well, that's interesting, honestly. Honestly.
Problem, yeah.
And but you said something that's important. Some of the conversations that we have had, persons would have spoken about the importance of mentorship and the village, the importance of, you know, the concept, the village raises the child.
Yeah.
And what you're saying, you had the appearance, you had the elders in the community, and you also had
People on the wrong side
on the
of
ground,
yeah.
right? I want to tap into the elders part, right? Because as young people, we always have that rough and tangle with them, you know, want to battle with them, you know, that kind of stuff. We see our elders for some reason as an obstacle. Why you don't see your elders as an obstacle?
I would say because they were open to me. I could have gone and talked to them about anything. And one thing we had in common, would be football. Okay. Right? From growing up, in the building I grew up in, it was I don't know, just something that when football was going on, we all sat and we watched the game together. We had the same reaction. So we had a connection via football. And I really didn't see that as an obstacle because I don't know, as I said, they were open to me. I could go to them for anything and they were always welcoming to me. So I would say basically that's on my part, not for everyone, but for
Okay,
me.
so then, you are a young person.
Uh-huh.
Why did you receive the information? Why did you receive the guidance? What's about you that would have caused you to be more receptive and receiving?
I would say my mental from growing up. I don't know. Maybe when I was younger, I like to read a lot.
Right.
So by me reading, expose my mind to a different way of thinking.
Right.
So I would say that's the reason why I was open to them than others. Yeah, so that basically, I said that's for me reading from young, because when in primary school, I want to read a ton.
Right. That's mad.
Yeah, and I went to Maloney School.
Right.
I want to read a ton for reading like 15 books. Yeah, get it go. So I would say from reading, expanding my mind from young
Right.
to a different level that I could receive information quicker than the others.
Okay, excellent. And so you had this vision, this dream when you were young. You had your guidance from your parents, your elders. What inspired you to take it from, that vision to actually executing now the King of the Cage?
My drive, because I like this podcast. I could be open to it.
Yeah, man.
So when my father and I butt heads when growing up, while I was coming out of school.
Right.
He wanted me to go into the forces, like, me go into Coast Guard or police. I was like, that's not for me.
Right.
So he was like, no, you had to do that. I was like, you know what? I would do something, because I applied for many jobs in my life.
Right.
And I was turned on by a lot. I talked about going with resumes, go to this one. I was like, so I would never get a job. I was like, you know what? You need to do something for yourself. And now I started GT Fitness. And from GT Fitness, from me playing football also, I decided to bring Kings at the Cage. So just to do self-sustaining on myself, and also I know how it is for some youths if they may not have a job and some people may not accept them. Football is also an avenue out. So
Yes.
by me doing this and growing it at a level, they could be seen and they could further go out of the country and make something of themselves through this via the sport.
Okay. So two things I got from that. Circumstance. So meaning that it was a process of you almost had to find a way to strategize and get income, right, to sustain yourself, as well as that drive that you spoke about. So because I guess you had that vision, it was a part of you, you felt compelled that you had to execute it.
Yeah, I really thought, because at first when I started it, I watched it as a simple football tournament.
Right.
And by me sitting, and as I was telling some guys, 3 o'clock in the morning is when my ideas just hit me. I was like, yo, this could be even bigger, because everyone does something and they just do it for, okay, doing its sake, I do it, but they don't watch it as, okay, what if we do it at an international level and other people see that, okay, this is from Maloney could produce this, Trinidad could produce this. So that drive made me say, yo, we need to do this bigger and bigger and bigger, and added more elements to it to make it go to the level at.
Correct. Now, you have answered an important question that many young persons in this day and age go through. We are programmed or structured. You start preschool for how many ever years, then you go primary school for 7 years, and then you go to secondary school. And the expectations from everyone else, from your family, from your community, from society, you have to go to university, you're required to get a degree, you're required to get a career job, right? And once you don't fit into that mold, we have a tendency to, in our categorizing of success, you don't have a degree, well, you're not successful. You don't pursue this structure or this process, then, you're doing it wrong. You did something that's different. You were bold enough to believe in yourself and your ideas. Were you afraid when you had to make that when you had to stand up to your dad and say, no, I'm not going into the army, no, I'm not going into whatever else it is, this is what I'm going to do, I'm taking control of my life, which you have no idea what the future would be? What were you afraid?
Actually, no, I was not afraid. I was never scared at it once, because my grandmom, she told me once she came into school for me, the teachers wanted to see her. She thought that was a problem. She said, hey, what's going on? She said, anything you're doing in life, do it to the best ability, do it to the best ability and be the best at it. She's like, you want to be a doctor, be the best there is. You want to be a footballer, be the best. She even watch me and say, I'm not going to tell you to get into crime. She said, but if you're going to be a bandit, be the best bandit there is. I said that at her funeral when she passed, and everybody laughed at her. But she was just being open with me and being real with me that, yo, anything you're doing, go at it. So I wasn't scared. I told my father it is. We didn't see eye to eye after that, but I was like, you know what? Sometime in life you can do anything. There's consequences, but you have to actually set your mind to it and go at it. And even when they talk about the structure of life, I heard my interview with Bungie, right? He was speaking about when he got into soccer. He said that all the structure is the same thing that you know, say preschool, primary school, secondary school, go to university. Most parents want the child to be a doctor or a lawyer or any service. And he was like, when he got into soccer, his mom didn't want him to do it at all, right? And he was like, you know what? He gonna do this, and he going to push through it, push through the barriers, break it down, and look where he is now. So, but I only heard that interview like some days ago, and now that I bring it up, it's like it come full circle. That the path I took, as you say, was in the natural path, but sometimes I guess that's just how life is,
correct. And you see, I guess is one of the things that we have to consider as a people is just as in cooking, right? Pilau or whatever dish that you want, right? Pilau doesn't only have rice.
Correct.
Right? Neither is pilau only chicken pilau, right? You have variants of it.
Yeah.
And that is what, every time that you go to the pot by somebody else who would cook a pot of pilau, you know, you're kind of wondering how it will taste because of the variants.
True.
And that's what gives life its essence. Even in cooking your pot of pilau, you know, you would add ingredients on this occasion, or next time you might run out of salt and you might substitute it with something.
True.
Right? Hey, this tastes good, boy. And the reality is that for some reason, we don't consider the same in terms of upbringings, in terms of, you know, when we decide as a society how we want the next generation, what we want them to be exposed to, or what avenues that we want them to pursue, we tend to want it's either this way or the next.
Correct, yeah.
And I am very much pleased and happy, and where you said you had no fear. At least you're stronger than I was.
Yeah,
you know,
I had no fear. I just go at it. I was always want to stand up to everyone, and I would say, tell her as it is, despite how you may react to it. I will always stand up to you and just come at it, because most way you could do get vexed with me, but you had to be boisterous and not in a disrespectful manner.
Yes.
Respectful way, but state your claims and they will understand. If they don't, well, just prove them wrong and do what you have to do again.
Yes. I remember in some of my experiences with some young people, same question. They want to do their own thing. The parents want them to do another thing. And unfortunately, sometimes parents or elders, they don't take the time to sit and listen.
True.
You know, to hear from them, or try at least to assist them in navigating through this new frontier.
Okay.
And I said that it does not make sense to fight and put up a wall and all that type of stuff. The best way to respond to naysayers or individuals who don't believe in you is to be successful.
Okay, let's go at it.
Absolutely successful.
Okay.
So, King of the Cage, you said that, you know, in Maloney Gardens, a beautiful community.
True.
You saw a football tournament that occurred in the past, and the outdoor facility had a cage, and that's how the name arose.
Yeah, that's how I came about. Yeah.
But it was an idea that you had. You had a vision. But along the way, you would have had some challenges.
Okay.
This is something new, and as you would have indicated a little earlier, you are very much prepared to take something that is new to international standards. So
Okay.
I know for sure a young person like yourself from a community, one of the communities like Maloney Gardens, it wouldn't have been easy because of whatever stigma that is attached, unfortunately. But I attended the last King of the Cage tournament, and you know, I'm not a sport fanatic, right? But you know, you would see the NBA, NBA playoffs in the States, you would see FIFA, what they do at the closing game,
Yeah,
right?
you'll
You'd see
come
all
and
of
stuff,
it.
yeah.
Honestly, that's the experience that I got, you know, at King
Thanks,
of
man. Thanks,
the
man.
at King of the Cage. But yeah, let's dive into those obstacles that you would have had. What was one of the major issues that you had to tackle, and how did you deal with that?
Well, the first one, I would say there are many, but the first one was COVID in 2020 when we started. You know, the world came and shut down, and we had to pause the tournament during the midst of it, right, on the outdoor facility. After that, the 2 years we was out for everything we started was 2022, and we did it back in 2023. So one of the obstacles was moving the Kings at the cage and thinking if they restarted, if the teams will come, if the people will receive it, how they received it before. So I was like, wait, boy, how to do this? I started questioning myself, like, if they do it, if they cancel it, start it over. I was like, you know what? We're going to do it. Move it to the indoor. We got the indoor facility. We got the MP on board. Everyone give us the full backing again. And I would say the obstacle was basically just advertising and getting it out to the people. I had to think of an innovative way, not like the way from before, because the ways of 2020 and in 2023 will be different, because it's always, the world is progressing. So you can't use the same ideas from that year to that year. So now me sitting thinking, okay, how to do this? How to do it? And I just sitting and I just pulled it off again. I was really shocking myself that year though.
Okay, so we had COVID, and you would have highlighted that you the 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
Taking the ideas.
That is be crazy. Yeah.
And you had support. Now, many times when we are starting something new, or I can give you from my experience.
No problem.
I remember when at the community council, when we started off, I had all these grand ideas. And when I took it to the council, I was 17 at the time. And I took it to the council, you know the usual.
I know
You can't do this, you know, the money and all of those different things. And I went home and I was talking to my dad about it. And my father said that the first things first, don't ever make a decision based on money. Money will always come.
Correct.
Don't ever make a decision based on what is in front of you, the obstacles that are in front of you, because those things can't be removed. Not necessarily easily,
Yeah,
but it can be. Once you have an idea, push forward. So you would have had your idea, you would have had your obstacles. And I know for sure that your obstacles would have been insurmountable, because the end result that I saw, right, and you're talking about having an idea from small, where you have reached is incredible. And you have also identified that through your fitness activities, GT Fitness, right? I would say the business aspect, right? What I want to know from Ronaldo Alexander, and what I think our viewers would want to know, and anybody out there that has an idea, what causes you to watch all of these things that is in front of you, this massive wall, and you, little Ronaldo from Maloney Gardens, on a dot in a dot on the map, on the globe, say, you know what, I was watching that wall, I pushing forward. What causes that drive? What causes that?
Before I answer your question, I want to touch on something that you mentioned. When it was 17, right?
Yeah.
That right there is one of the major problems in sports and many things right now, because people lack vision, and because someone young and the older heads know it to be like, okay, back in the caveman days, we see it like this, we gotta stick with this. So your vision at 17 going to them, they never saw your vision. They never see, okay, maybe this who we had to take on, because right, he's seeing the future. Right? On top of that, some people is have a quote, some people see something for what it is, some people could see it for what it could be. Right? So that way you had also that where you stated they didn't see that, they could only see it, okay, this is what we know it is gonna be, but you seen it 5 steps ahead of them and they're not catching up. So they're right here and you here, and they turn you down, but forget he young, he don't know what he's talking about. And even with the first King's Education, the money aspect, I never wanted to do. I never look at King's Education for the money. As I always tell everybody, I'd be like, oh, how much I said that time, brother. I want people when they come, just like, oh, you could come and they say, wow, I come and have that experience. Like, this was that was this. That's why I like how people will come. And then from there, people will hear about it and will keep growing and growing. And then you'll get the bigger brands on board. And when they reach the level, then they can study like, okay, now financially, we do this and we do that. But the experience is always first.
Yes.
So I would say that on the points that you mentioned before.
Yes.
And me seeing a wall, I like to, when somebody tell me I can't do something, I like to show that, yeah, I could do it.
Yeah.
You telling me this can be done, I'm going to do it. Like, just like the members I was giving them a story before you come. It's talking about me being an ambassador for the champagne brand Look Belly. I remember before when I saw it, my business partner Jabari came to me about it. I was like, hey, I like this, and I looked up on it and I say, well, how can I be a part of them? I looked. One of my friends told me, oh, I'll go and talk to you, but nobody gonna sign you that I'm gonna take you when I forget her. I was like, all right, cool. Went on my phone, Instagram, DM about 10 people. In 2015, September 25th, I sent the message. Got respond the day after. And from there, we moved forward. They put me onto the brand manager in New York. And after that, it was history. They brought me out there. And I was on board with Rick Ross, DJ Khaled, and these guys. And from there, so I would say I do watch anything as a problem or obstacle. I could always get around it. It's just to find a way to get around it. And there are some people who see a wall and be like, don't try to run into the wall and the wall ain't gonna move. But what if you try to go around? What if you go over? What if you try to make a hole and go through the wall? So just to find a way in order for you to be successful in something. So if there are obstacles, just find a different way. Because 1 + 1 is 2, 2 + 2 is 4, but 2 times 2 is also 4. That's how you do it.
That's deep. No, honestly.
Nah, just how you do it. Just how you do it.
No, Ronaldo, I think what is, some persons are going to just hear the audio of our discussion.
Uh-huh.
Some of them are going to see it when they go on the YouTube channel. And I think it's an episode like this, but a person like you need to see it. Because what you're talking about are qualities or aspects of a character that people take 30, 40, 50 years of their life to come to the conclusion that you have at this young stage. What I am mind blown about is that you had this dream from a child. So at this stage of your life, you can look back at your former self and say, hey, not only did we do it, but we have propelled way past what we once thought.
True.
So Ronaldo, you're talking about that that idea about jumping over the wall, going to the side, digging under, right? That value and understanding of life, people take decades to come to that realization. As well as you would have pointed out that, some people in your circle, a partner of yours would say, hey, nah. And saying that, which I guess some people could understand. Here you have Ronaldo, a young black boy from a small community in a dot on the globe, believing and deciding that he's going to be a brand ambassador. What makes, in his thinking, your partner's thinking, what makes you feel that you could do it? And taking all of that into consideration, what about you? What do you do to strengthen your mind, to withstand the naysayers, to withstand those that don't believe you, sometimes even being closest to you, and say, frick that, I pushing on.
I would just say, I don't even know, I just ignore people most of the time. Like, okay, some people use their fears and try to portray it onto you. So they will say like, hey, you can't do that, but it's really in their mindset that they can't do it, so they don't want you to do it. Right? So now you gotta be like, okay, cool, no problem. You just tell them, right? You don't need to argue them and say, no problem. Right? I can't do it. Okay, cool. Now you just go and find a way, like, yo, drive on. You say I can't do it. I will share I could do it, and I win watching no way when I make it happen. I'll still bring you along and tell you, come along for the part of it. So I say it's just all about your mental and how bad you want something in life, like how your drive is. It's just that. It's how bad you want it. And if you take on people, because people will talk about if you do good, they'll talk about if you do bad, they'll talk about it if you don't do at all. So they are going to talk despite what. So it's all about you and how bad you want it and your drive in life to push on to do it. Yeah. So it's a negative just feed off of the negativity and turn it into a positive.
I remember a time I went home. This is when my dad was in his ending time. And to get his mind off of the illness that he was battling, I was because he loves to hear what his children are doing. So I was telling him that time we were dealing with some matters in another organization that was very stressful. And same thing, naysayers are saying what they want to say, people not believing, and people have their mistrust. So after I took about almost 45 minutes talking to Daddy, just telling him my view and the facts of the situation, he told me, look outside. We had a mango tree. We have a couple of trees in the back. And he said, you ever saw anybody throw stones at a mango tree that doesn't bear fruit? I said, no,
Facts.
Daddy. He said, exactly. The very fact that you're doing something, that's the fruit. And once you have a fruit, somebody wants it.
Correct.
And just as in the mango tree that they're going to stone the mango from that tree, the tree being you, it's the same thing in life. And that was profound. And it took me, that would have been 4 or 5 years ago to come to that realization. I would have been around 25, right? So that's interesting. Now, one of the things that I found very peculiar with the King of the Cage match, when I arrived on the last occasion, there was a team, an individual, well, they would have greet the entourage. You had the registration desk. Everybody was doing what they were doing. All Ronaldo had to do was show up and start the program. While the show is going on, while the tournament is going on, everyone in their spaces doing what it is that they have to do. The pictures would come out. You'd see everyone posting and going. And subsequent to that, I realized that everywhere Ronaldo is going, there's a team with him, which would bring one to the conclusion, natural conclusion, that you have a strong support system with your vision. That is important in any aspect of your life. What did you do in seeking that support from your group, your networking group?
My support system, key people that basically I grew up with that I can actually trust. And if I call and even though I'm not there, you're willing to get it done and you're willing to go the length I'll go. As they once told me, they will never do it like how I would do it, but they'll try as close as possible to do it. And I'm okay with that because obviously if I bring you a vision, I want it done this way, but you wouldn't see it how I'm seeing it. But if you could get it as close as possible, and I can't put the finishing touches, So my team, I would say they actually done. As I say, once I told them, I always tell them thanks to be with me, even though I will lead them into something blind, right? But they will go with me at the end because I will come and tell you, 3 o'clock in the morning, I say a message, hey, I had this vision, I want to put this here, this, that. They'll be like, yeah, let me go. When they look, hey, I don't know what he talking about, but let me go and we'll make it happen. So that is one thing I would say. They always have me, my team, and it's always a small team. I don't like to switch out anybody because it's hard to get people that you can actually trust and who are willing to go to that lengths for you to make sure stuff done, to see your vision and execute your vision, besides they having their own vision. Right? So they are that is from growing up. I keep people close to me. So that's how my team is built out. I always tell them thanks because, I just trip them off sometimes. But.
You could big them up now, no? But so what is the size of your team right now?
I would say it's basically 11 to 12 individuals. That's it.
Right. Now, in this segment, you said the word trust twice. Why is trust important for you?
Because I trust very important. I must be able to, I could turn my back and I could be able to leave $1,000 here. You come to my house, I come back, and that $1,000 right here. Because it's very hard to trust people around many stuff. And I'm an open guy. If I know I trust you, I will leave you in my house. I'll tell you, hey, you could come by me anytime. I'm not there, you could go ahead. I cannot be in the country, you go ahead. So I must be able to trust you. Even with that and even my life. That's how deep I wanted to go. That I must be able to trust you going right down. And you could do that because I will do the same for you. You can trust me, I will go out of my way for anybody who's with me. As I was saying, I'll do it all just to make sure you're good. Someone could come to me and say, hey, I need this to do that. And I can be my last and I don't have it. Okay, here, you go ahead. I will find a way to get back and do what I need to do. I don't know why they do that. My mother tell me that since I'm young. She don't know why. I was like, I don't know. It's just something. I like to see people happy around me. Even if I have it all, once you happy, no problem. You go and do what you have to do. I will figure it out. I will always find a way and always come to me and I will get it done. So it's not a problem by me.
Okay. There's another aspect. You said with your team, you would have your vision, obviously. And, well, you would need people that have to execute your vision. And you have accepted the point that anybody that is going to execute your vision cannot do it the way that you want it to do.
Yeah.
That's a whole question of leadership. What is your style of leadership in terms of motivating your team, in terms of establishing your vision, in terms of dealing with even conflicts? Because it's talking about 13 persons together, that's bound to have problems.
Yeah.
You know, how do you treat with that?
With conflicts, if something is happening, I wouldn't address it in front of everybody. I would call it by yourself and we would chat it out. We trash it out, we talk. If it reach our level, the two people, then the whole group will come together and be radical honesty. Everybody say what I have to say, and after we leave here, that's done. Clear it up. So say everything you have to say now, but when we leave here, everything must be good. We had 0, we start again, and we move forward. So I would say that's all I just that's how I know how to deal with each individual and each ego. Because they know how I get when I get flustered. I don't talk to nobody. I just be quiet and be like, we just go and get it done. We just tell them nothing. And then one will come and talk us like, don't they hear it? Yeah. Then we just so after we will laugh at it and be like, watch out, you just in the curly night. And we always end up joking at the end. So that is what I would say. But me having a vision and they not seen it, that is life. But I will try to bring it out as best for them and they will grasp it. And then they will try to do it and they will add. I will say, okay, well, they want to add to this, or we could take away from this, and we just move forward from there.
So that's your team.
I'm a team, yeah.
So you get your team sorted out,
Yeah.
you believe in your vision.
Yeah.
You will get your family, you will get your friends. How do you get a community? And I would even say a ministry, a country to buy into your vision, Ronaldo. How does one do that?
I really don't know how to tell you the answer to that. I would just say, okay, maybe the quality that we bring, because I always say quality over quantity. Right? So that way it comes down to me saying, we need to put it at a certain standard so people will see it. Because number one, when they hear something out of Maloney, the first thing they're going to say is, no, not going there. Maloney this, Maloney that, Maloney all kind of stuff. I was like, all right, no problem. I understand that. So we say, okay, it must be at a certain level so that when people see it, they must grasp it. Within that, as also do a media campaign, go on every radio station, every TV station, whole of social media. So it must be in your face. Yeah. After a while, they'll be like, oh gosh, I'm fed up. See this. All right, let me go and see what it is about. And the moment I get to come and see what it's about, that is it. I catch it.
Okay.
That's all I need. That's they come once and they buy it from the video, something, that is it.
Okay. And you have no difficulty in being up in your face all the time?
No. People hate me for that. I'd be like, I'm fed up seeing this. I'm fed up. Every time I think it's a broadcast, I'm fed up seeing this. And that's not a problem. Hate me, be vexing me, but you're going to watch it. You're going to watch it. Even 15 seconds is all you need, you're going to watch it. That is it. And the moment I have here 15 seconds, that is it I have here. And I'm going.
Nice. Now, King of the Cage, and basically all of the aspects that we have spoken about is all on the topic of sport.
Yeah.
Sport in Trinidad and Tobago. And we, as a society, we are trying our best to, by virtue of policy, by virtue of programs established by governments or other agencies, to get us where we would like to be. You used sport as an avenue to connect with your community, to collaborate with them, as well as to build your team. How else do you see sport, or how can sport be used to address many of the issues that we face as a people?
I would say sport is one of the biggest tools, and we're just not tapping into it properly because there are a lot of unseen, hidden talent that even come out to the Kings Education. Some of the youngest players we ever see, we be like, yo, where they was hiding? We could date it back to even in most of the Brazilian players that everyone see and the love. They will always tell the story as, yo, we was growing up on the street, poverty, and I see sport as no way out playing football in the road. Even the other day I was watching a documentary on YouTube that's pop up about Kyrie Irving. There's like Nike signed all these players to come on a combine. Right. He wasn't signed, but it's like here's the top talent or something like that in high school. And one of the players I think got sick, and there's like they brought him. So when they brought everybody, it's like, but who is this? Who is this? They bring all of these this and that, and he's nobody. And the moment he had the ball, he lights up the whole tournament. Everybody's like, but where this guy come from? Nike signed him instantly. So I would say sport as a tool is the major tool because not everyone even academically strong. Not saying education is important, but you need to know from young, okay, this is what they're good at. Like we say someone will say, you notice that they love to build, right? Like even Legos, they might say, okay, this is a good build, I'm gonna push them into that field, right? Learn this. Some people be even stronger in sports. You say teach them the basics like reading, writing, understanding, and push them to sports and harness the talent from, I would say, from young. And that would be the way out. Instead of we just saying, as you said way before, pushing on the structure that, hey, you have to do this, you have to go to school. We understand education. As I say, not saying it's not important, but some people not that intellect and not that strong to actually have that, and that is their way out. So that I say we just need to harness the talent from young, see what the youths are about, see what they're strong at. And as I say, mostly it's sports because football is one of the biggest sports in the world. Right? And many talents growing up, you hear that they say that they never used to go to school and they grow up on the streets and they see this ball as a way out. So it don't be football alone because baseball is one of the highest paying sports in America. Men signing $700 million contract, and that's like what?
Any wrong profession?
$700 million a contract guy signing in baseball, same as for NFL basketball. So using that as a way out, and the structure doesn't have to go. LeBron James came out from high school straight into NBA. He never went to college, and look at him now. He's a $1 billion superstar. Now he turned a whole community, sending people to school for free, giving mothers jobs, and turn his whole community around. So he used sport as a tool, and if you listen to some of these guys' story, sport was their way out. And many youths, I would say, could use sport as a way out because I say in every community there is hidden talent. Every single sport that have you just had to find a way to get them out and harness the talent and push it through.
Okay, so I remember when in my primary school we had sports day once in 6 years. Right? At least when at secondary school we had it every year.
Yeah.
And I believe that probably at that time sport wasn't seen as important as academics. Now we are seeing a rollout of many programs, including yours, right? And there's something that you said as well, which, to be honest, I didn't contemplate on before, where sports can also be used as a talent search,
True.
In communities and spaces. And I remember an interview by Usain Bolt, where he said there's no doubt in his mind, he's the fastest man in the world. He said there's no doubt in his mind that probably there's somebody faster than him.
Yeah.
Right? And the only thing is that they just didn't have the opportunity or they didn't have the circumstance to get them where he is today. And in addressing that, I guess, fact, because we say when you win gold at Olympics, that means you are the best in the world.
True.
In that sport. But is that really true? So, there are the nuances and the issues as well in sport, politics of sports.
Of course.
And are we truly reaching, everyone in their spaces to try to figure out what we have exposed to us? But I want to ask you a question. where do you see sports for the future of Trinidad and Tobago? What can we do as a society, as a people, to truly integrate sports into what we do to change some of the issues that we have?
We need to market the product better. That is number one goal. Marketing the product, because it all goes back again to when you were 17 and you went to the council. The older heads don't have the vision. I would say that the vision is what lacking in Trinidad. We go as a mediocre society. We just be like, all right, if you do this, yeah, okay, that's enough powder, let's see it. We're not tapping in and enhancing and watching. We don't like to take pattern from outside. We will take pattern from outside for everything else except the marketing aspect of how they do their sports. Right? They keep advertising, they keep changing it, they keep doing it. That is why every time we turn on the same ESPN watching, we always see the advertising NBA, the advertising baseball, the advertising hockey. Some sport name cornhole. The first time I hear about that, have a championship for him. Now, what championship I see? Yeah. So it's all about the marketing tool, and they don't treat the athletes or say the players are the most important part. And that's why you need to treat the right way. In football, in basketball, well, cricket, going at a different level because they've seen it and trying to do it. In hockey, field hockey that we have down here, even in athletics. So it's all about, I'll keep saying, the vision. The elder heads are lacking, some of them, not all, are lacking the vision and the execution style, because I'll go back to even the pro league kind of footballer, right? They put an altar ad for football. I fed up, see everyone comment on it. They put an ad for football. But yet on the flyer, you're not seeing a player face. The highlights in the entertainment more than the football. So what they're really trying to make people come out to. So yes, you want them to come for the entertainment, but the players are the most important. When you put the player face, if you get people to come out to see the football, so like you say you get 500 people to come to see the football, you will get people for the entertainment another 500. But if you come for 500 for entertainment, when they don't have the entertainment, what's going to happen? Then they'll be like, oh, the stadium always empty because you're not marketing the tool properly.
Yes.
A proper video. Take Defense Force actually changed the game the other day. They went into a day in the life of Molino, the captain, like the day of the game, and they went to his house and show how the day building and stuff. So they actually use that from outside, and that's really good. People following on their pages. They're not using social media to how they're supposed to use it. So it's just about vision. Back to again to seeing something for what it can be and not for what it is, and marketing the tool properly. And sport could be the biggest way out in Trinidad. We could be that level. So yeah.
So I can now understand why you put so much emphasis in the marketing of King of the Cage, because I don't know if the audience got a glimpse to see what comes out of King of the Cage, but it is the quality. I remembered it was either before the finals or post finals, that clip that where with the drawing and
Drawing, which one is that?
the drawing on the ground with the King of the Kings logo, where it started off with that, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And for those that didn't attend, I remember even at the finals where it's like the Olympic kind of finish. You had the smoke lights and that's incredible. I can see now why emphasis and attention is placed there, because it's passion. You're very much passionate about what you're doing, and you see the need and importance of marketing what is taking place.
Yeah.
And you have also given us, when it is not done correctly, what is the outcome of it. So we have reached the point of our conversation where we call it rapid bloom. So I'm going to ask you some questions, and you're going to answer me, what's the first thing that comes to your mind. And if you want to give an explanation, keeping it short, because it's really for the audience to get to know who Ronaldo Alexander is.
Okay, no problem.
Are you ready?
All right.
So Ronaldo, what's your favorite dish?
Pilau.
Well, what type of pilau?
Chicken.
Yeah. So you said that you're an avid reader. What's a book most stands out for you?
Usain Bolt.
Nice. If you had to change one aspect of King of the Cage, what would that be?
Make it even more marketable, because I'm never satisfied.
Okay. if this person could either be dead or alive, who is one person that you'd like to meet?
To meet. Wow, that's a deep question. I don't even know how to answer that one. All right, I would say Steve Jobs.
Oh, yes.
From Apple, because of what he stood for and how he did his stuff. So I would say him.
No, I'm an Apple fan, right? And only because I said it's Steve Jobs, I want to dive into that a little bit. What about Steve Jobs? And you said his ideology. What about that interests you? And what you want to get to know about him?
His drive and how he came about having this vision. Right? Because he went through a lot. And people shut him down. But yet he pushed through. I know Apple is one of the biggest brands in the world, despite he died and gone. So yeah, just the way that his process of thinking and other person vibes scattered.
Right.
That's one thing he got.
Right. So, there's a famous Kobe Bryant once said in his Mamba
mentality.
Mamba mentality. Some of the members of staff we discussed that a bit. He said, "You rest at the end, not in the middle."
Correct.
My question for you, closing question, is what is next for Ronaldo Alexander? Because I know you're not resting now.
Next to me, as I say, my goal was to carry Kings of the Cage internationally. We on the path to that. Whereas guys from they did a small World Cup in Latvia. They contacted me, wanted to bring a team from Trinidad, but it was too close. So we actually building and I'm taking Kings of the Cage to different countries and making it internationally, because my goal, as I tell everyone, somebody watch my game and say you're going mad. As big as CPL is, I want Kings of the Cage to be that big. I stood in CPL watching it and saying, I wonder if I could. Somebody say, I know, sorry, that's what I needed to hear. No problem. So as big as CPL is or even bigger, yeah, I want to make Kings of the Cage premier tournament globally.
Wow. That's deep. And I support you 100% again.
Thanks very much. Man.
So, Ronaldo, if persons want to know what you are doing, if they want to find out what is happening with King of the Cage, where can they get in contact with you or see?
Right on the Kings of the Cage page, I post everything about it. Kings of the Cage, one word, on the IG page. I do everything on that account, or my personal account, you see it, linked to it. But always Kings of the Cage page, we always update them right on that. And everything further, we'll send out a video or a picture and leading up to the updates and stuff.
Excellent. So, Ronaldo, you were saying that marketing is that's the aspect that you want to change.
Yeah.
Well, not to change, but further improve.
Yeah.
Right? And do you have a video, anything to demonstrate the progress?
Yeah, actually, the other day I posted the video for the first time, like the first one we did. And I was really horrified, thinking that this video was so great. Show you the first one. The first ever Kings of the Cage. And I actually thought that was so
no,
great.
but it is though, not that bad. It's better than what I could do.
If I show you that from the last one, that's I'm never satisfied by certain stuff. Because this is the final one. This is the last from the last tournament. This was the recap video.
Goddamn, who knew that I am the guru with voodoo that sued you? Then I turn a goddamn into a gospel.
Everybody want to know what I would do if I didn't win. I guess we'll never know.
Excellent, man. Excellent. I want a ringer.
No problem. Everybody try to get a ring, eh?
So, members of the Blueprints community, you would have heard the conversation that we would have had with Ronaldo. And I really and truly believe that through his story, it inspires each one of us to take bold steps in executing our dream and passion. And we have learned a couple of things from Ronaldo. All it takes is for you to have that dream, that vision. You take your first steps and you execute it to see where it takes you.
True.
And we can take that in our individual, personal lives as an action item. What is that dream? What is that vision that you have that you are afraid of? Execute it. Put it down on your notepad. Draw up your plan and start to take the first steps. Don't let anything hold you back. So this was another episode of The Blueprint with Dr. Jelani Reid. I'm very pleased and happy to have Ronaldo Alexander with us. And until we meet again on another episode where we'll continue to have conversations, continue to collaborate in this safe space in building a better individual, a better community, and a better society. So continue to look on, join us on our social media handles and pages, and email us at theblueprintpodcast2025@gmail.com, where you can nominate an individual, a hero, a leader in whatever sphere of life where we can have in-depth conversations. Thank you.